Hey guys, Rodney Fan here with the Fan Boat Restoration update. It's been a couple of years now since I've put up a video. I had a new job, so I had to make that a priority, and plus the boat was at my parents' house, which is about a 35-minute drive. So, you know, time just didn't allow for me to get over there to work on it. So I'm happy to say now I actually have it here in my garage at my house, so I'm ready to start the whole process of, you know, finishing it. So I'm really excited to have it here so I can actually get some work done on it. I think the last thing I had done and put up on YouTube was the actual bottom restoration, painting the bottom, flipping the boat over, and that whole process. So hopefully you saw those videos. If not, check those out. But here I've got the boat here now. I've pretty much got the trailer done. Just, you know, ready to start on the boat. Most recently I'm actually working on the floor of the boat, you know, filling in some rotted spots, and I'll give you a little bit more detail on that here in a minute. For those of you who haven't seen the intro, just to kind of recap this whole project, this boat actually belonged to my pawpaw, and then was passed on to my dad. And my dad, back in I think 2010, I think, actually gave the boat to me. So it sat for several years before I did anything with it. And then I started and kind of committed to the whole restoration back in 2013. So it's been a 5-year process so far. Just wasn't able to do a whole lot and do it as quickly as I had hoped, with the boat not here at my house. So I'm really thrilled to have it here and to get started. So without anything else, let me kind of give you, show you around the boat, see what I've done so far, and give you an update. So if you didn't see any of my videos before this, I basically flipped the boat over and did some bottom repairs and repainted the bottom. I used Interlux's Perfection paint. The whole goal of this was I didn't really care for the colors on this boat, and rather than trying to gel coat the whole thing and go through that whole process, and you know, the cost of having that done was probably, you know, $6 or $7 grand for the whole boat. So I was like, yeah, just wanted to come up with a different way to get it done, and get it done maybe a little bit faster. Was just to you know, paint the bottom of the boat, and then what I'm going to do is get it, a wrap done on the sides, down the sides, and on the top as well, so they can wrap down all the way, you know, to the bottom, you know, where it meets the floor. So that's the idea, is to get, you know, a wrap done, you know, and I can basically, you know, use whatever color scheme, and they can do some pretty cool things nowadays with the wraps. So I'll try to get some video of that whole process. I've got a company already in mind that I want to use to hire to do that. But on the trailer, you can see I've basically repainted it, all, you know, new winch, new wiring, new lights, new rollers, bunks, carpet and everything. So it turned out pretty well. My jack stand stripped out when I got home with the boat here, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to either repair that one or just put one of the swivel ones on, you know, brace it on the side here. You can see on the side, I did add some diamond plate aluminum. I just riveted those on. You can see some of that in one of the videos I did as well. And then on the inside of the wheel wells, I just added some carpeted plywood to the side there to protect the hull of the boat. Got some new tires and wheels. I'm really happy with the way these look. You know, I went with a 15-inch rim instead of a 14 that was on it to help raise the trailer up, because my papa actually built this trailer, you know, several years ago, and the back of it, where the rest is for the motor support, is kind of low. So I figured, you know, if I go with a 15-inch rim, I can raise, you know, raise it up an inch at least to give me a little bit more clearance. But as I said, new lights. I got some guideposts here. I just put some LEDs on top of those. As far as the boat, I've done some work on the floor here. Tore out, there was actually some wood pieces that, you know, went across here and come out, and there were some panels attached to that. So I didn't really like the way that looked, so I tore those out and just kind of re-glassed, you know, where those boards were. I had fixed, I guess a couple of years ago, I had fixed some soft spots already in the floor, but with it sitting a couple more years, there was some more that developed, as you can see here. And then I had some really bad soft spots back here in the storage where the gas tanks and stuff go. So basically the process that I used just from research online was drilling a bunch of holes in the soft spots, and then I used some of that penetrating epoxy and, you know, filled that into all the holes and let it penetrate into the soft plywood underneath to help reinforce that. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to go back and re-glass. So I plan to re-glass the whole floor. There's spots where I touched up before, but after thinking about it, I was like, well, I might as well just go ahead and put a coat on the whole thing. So that's the next project right now. You can see where, you know, you can see the plywood underneath, and I just think it'll make it stronger and less susceptible to water and delamination if I go ahead and put another coat of glass on it, and just make it that much stronger. So as you can tell, I've got the boat basically stripped down, all the trim pieces off. So I've been trying to fill in holes where I know things are not going to go back, you know, to try to make it as smooth as possible. So when I do get the wrap, you know, you don't see a bunch of holes through the vinyl. I did have a trolling motor. I removed that, so I filled a bunch of holes up here. I painted the top and bottom side of the rub rail. I don't know if you can see it real good in there with the lighting here, but I'm just going to go back and paint the actual rubber piece in the center as well. So that's a solid black all the way around. And I have to do some sanding where my paint overspray, where I had mask, but not a big deal. Still got some old vinyl that I've got to remove, you know, part of the decals here, but I've got a heat gun and that should come off pretty easily. Yeah, other than that, that's where I'm at. Like I said, the floor is probably the thing I'm working on next, and then we'll go from there. Just to give you guys a kind of an idea of where I'm going here with colors, I've got you know, this silver and a blue. If you didn't catch my previous videos on the motor cowl restoration that I did, check that out. You can kind of see the color scheme I'm going with. But this is actually Decadence marine flooring. I got some samples from those guys, and this is pretty cool stuff. So I'm planning on, they don't make the blue anymore, which I was kind of bummed by that. I was actually thinking about using the blue. So I think silver is what I'm going to go with. But this stuff is, it's got a rubber backing, so once you put it down, on the floor, it stays in in its spot. Doesn't roll, slide around and all that. But this stuff, the water goes right through it, and then out the back of the boat. So it's really cool. It's it's vinyl, so it's not going to rot and stink and everything else. So that water, and you can wash it out. You can even pull it out of the boat, I guess, if you want to rinse it out. But they've got some cool videos online kind of showing the product itself, but it's not cheap at all, but it's something that will last, and I think it's probably worth the money. So I'm probably going to go with that on the floor itself. Plus it feels good. It's got some cushion to it, so I think it'll feel good on your feet. As far as the sides, you can see my hatch here. I've kind of redone this, kind of painted in here, and then I've got a vinyl. I think it's called Shark. I can't remember exactly the name of the color, but Shark Gray or something like that. But this is the vinyl that I'm going to use, for the storage areas, and I'm also going to use it for down the sides underneath the gunnels, so it will cover the old fiberglass. It looks like there was some kind of paint on it initially as well, so I'll cover all that, and that should clean up the inside. And then the carpet, of course, covering the floor, should make the boat look 100% better. So anyway, just wanted to give you an idea on the colors and how this is going to come together. So that's kind of where we are right now with the boat. Again, I wish I could have gotten more videos on, uploaded sooner, and gotten this project going a lot sooner than I had. But life sometimes has other plans, and you've got other responsibilities. So anyway, I will definitely be posting more videos as I progress to keep you guys updated. This is the first one. In the past, I've just done photos kind of with title bars explaining the whole process. I may do some more face-to-face video here just to make it a little hopefully more interesting. So I appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to comment. If you have suggestions or whatever, let me know. Subscribe. I tell you, YouTube has been a great help for me with these projects, and I figure I can. I'm not certainly no professional on any of this, but if any of this can help someone else, that's the whole point of this. So anyway, guys, have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.